Hello, welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book of poetry, history and thought for the day. As usual, I'm sitting here in my garden in a rather wet part of southwest London, and I'm doing it gladly though, because I enjoy doing this so much, and it's a ready-made sort of pick-me-up. It helps my spirit rise as the poetry, the beautiful words get put into my head. I've said it before, I'll probably say it again. And I hope that you can sort of derive a bit of benefit from it too. poetrychangeslives.com is the website. You can read more about the therapeutic power of poetry there, and all kinds of interesting facts. You can buy the book there if you wish, or you can go into a bookshop and buy it, of course, or just get it from Amazon, I suppose. It's all there for you, and you can receive a daily email as well if you put your email in the box. It's all free. On this day in 1870, the very great English writer, novelist Charles Dickens died. He was a bit of a groundbreaker, Dickens, hugely popular during his lifetime, partly as a result of really pioneering a new technique in publishing, which he would write his books first off to be published on a weekly basis in weekly or monthly journals, and that in that way he would sort of get people more and more drawn into the story. And some of those publications in the 19th century had very large readerships, and people were sort of naturally drawn on to buy his books themselves. He really was the man who invented the idea of the soap opera, as you know, has been taken up by television and radio and that sort of thing as well, where you give people a story in regular sort of chunks, and it gives them time to think about it, and it's a sort of, and something to anticipate. It's a whole new way of looking at publishing, or was certainly in the 19th century a very new way. Some of his books are still big bestsellers, like A Tale of Two Cities, perhaps the most popular novel of all time. When his famous book, The Old Curiosity Shop, was first published in serial form, week by week, crowds would gather at New York City Harbour waiting for the ships from England to come in, and they would shout out, you know, "Is little Nell dead?" They were so sort of avid for news of their famous favourite characters. Dickens never forgot his own miserable childhood, where he had to work in factories from a very young age, and his father was in a debtor's prison, and his descriptions in his novels are very powerful in those respects. Well, I'm going to read a poem today by another work-weary Victorian, Christina Georgina Rossetti, who, though she came from a well-to-do family, had in a way a hard life, because she wasn't physically very well, and mentally she had a lot of turmoil. She never married. I think she was a bit lonely and depressed at times, but she lived an admirable life, devoting certainly a large part of the later part of her life to just helping other people, other women in distress, and a very admirable person in many ways, Christina Rossetti. and her poetry reflects it. Some of her poems really speak of that inner turmoil and inner knowledge and longing for peace and salvation. I'm going to read one I like very much, which is right there, called Weary in Well-Doing, which really, that title says it all. Here we are, Weary in Well-Doing by Christina Rossetti. I would have gone, God bade me stay. I would have worked, God bade me rest. He broke my will from day to day. He read my yearnings unexpressed and said them nay. Now I would stay, God bids me go. Now I would rest, God bids me work. He breaks my heart, tossed to and fro. My soul is wrung with doubts that lurk and vex it so. I go, Lord, where thou sendest me. Day after day I plod and moil, but Christ, my God, when will it be that I may let alone my toil and rest with thee? Gosh, that's the voice, that seems to me, of a very tired person who's just longing for it to end. And Christina Rossetti, you have to feel sorry for her in some ways, but yeah, I mean, she wrote such beautiful expressions of her feelings, so honest and open, and really up there among the top poets I've ever encountered. Today I will do my best in everything that I set out to do, because I believe that it's part of my purpose in life, and anything else, anything less, would be bad for my self-esteem. I wish you all a good day, and thank you for listening.